What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Plan Brie Uncut, brought to you by High Noon, my favorite drink in the world. We have a real tequila seltzer. We have a real vodka seltzer. We have an uncarbonated iced tea, which is amazing. It's all under 100 calories, made with real juice. If you haven't tried it yet, what the hell are you waiting for? Go to highnoonspirits.com to find one near you. Guys, I am so excited for today's episode. It is amazing. It gets really deep. It gets really silly. It gets really funny. We have Chris Appleton on. He is a celebrity hairstylist. He is now an author. He is a creative director. He is everything. He's a father. He's a genuinely very kind, warm person to be around. His book is truly a very, very important thing that I think people should read, should listen to. The conversations that we have will probably urge you to read the book. I was really excited and delighted to have him on. So without further ado, please enjoy this episode. I'm so excited about it. We're here. We're starting. I have a funny story because I feel disrespectful that I don't have a blowout right now. I was going to get a blowout this morning because obviously you're coming on the podcast.
Yeah.
She texted me she's 10 minutes late and she's like, I got hit by a car. And I was like, oh my God.
Believe them?
No, because she was
really?
like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm like, you didn't get hit by a car.
Just say traffic's bad.
Right?
Yeah.
I was like, you could still come.
I think the excuse is, I think once they've used the traffic's late a few times, they have to go further and it becomes like more serious every time.
Like, I got hit by a car. I got hit by a bus.
Yeah.
I fell out of a helicopter.
Totally, yeah. Like,
so I would have my hair done for you. I feel bad.
That's great.
Thanks.
But you know, it's the number one thing everyone says to me when they first see me. Oh my God, don't look at my hair. And I'm like, I'm not.
I know. But are you?
Not really. No. Probably.
You are, like, subconsciously?
Subconsciously. Mm-hmm. I think I always did it since I was a kid.
Yeah. It's like, it's your
because
thing.
it says so much about you. But like, I kind of like, I think people think I like the glamour and all that, and you do, but I also just love like real gritty. I think it says so much about people.
Okay, so you're glad I look chopped right now. You're like, this is good.
What do you call it? Chopped?
Chopped, yeah. Do you know that word?
No.
So
in England, we would say butters. You look butters.
Butters.
Not that you look either chopped or butters. Sorry. You look great. I'm just. Anyway, I love your hair.
But thank you. No, but oh my gosh, you walked in. You're a human specimen.
What do you mean?
Like you're humongous and strong and your hair, like everything. I'm sure you get that everywhere you go though.
No. Not really. People are always, I think people say, oh, you're so tall. I think, do I look small on social media? Do I look small on social media,
I think a little smaller than what I expected.
Really?
Yeah, but you have the shoulder pads too. So
well, it's always nice to have a pleasant surprise when you get into it, right?
Yeah, it's great. Well, I'm so happy you're here. You're here promoting your book.
Yep.
Yeah, Your Roots Don't Define You, which is,
there it is.
I think when anyone comes out with a book, especially when you start getting your celebrity and you're reaching a status, people are like, why does everyone have to come out with a book? We don't need to hear more about them. But this isn't really about you. This book, of course, is about your life stories and your struggles and your whole entire kind of adventure through what you've experienced in this industry. But it's also to help people.
Yeah.
So
totally.
Yeah. So what I want to kind of talk about the book first. There's so much because you're so many things. But how did this come about? When did you say I want to write a book?
I think it's just interesting the perception that people had of me as a brand. Like Chris Appleton, I think they think, oh, he works with celebrities. His life looks relatively glamorous or polished. Maybe there's odd like topless picture. I don't know. We post the best of ourselves. And I guess to an extent, that's a lie. You know, it's a very small part of my life and my world and who I truly am. And I guess in all the years I've worked in doing hair, whether it's a client in the salon or Jennifer Lopez or Kim or whoever it is, or a cancer patient that lost their hair, I realized there was this sort of universal approach into doing it well, and it was about like being aligned inside and outside. And I was like, you know, I think there's so much I do in my job and what I've done since the age of 13, because that's when I got a job in hair, that the lady stop. I'm sorry, it really put me off.
No, that happens to me.
I feel like I've done something wrong because she's standing up and like she's trying to tell me. So I'm trying to tell the story and I'm like, have I got something on my face?
That happens with the heater. I'm like, stop, I can't focus.
She's like a proud mom. She's like, you're like Kris Jenner with the video camera.
No, literally, and the coat.
I know, and the coat. I know, it's like can't ignore you.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Sorry,
I can tell. No, I get it.
What was the question?
So you started at 13, and the question was really, how did this book come to be about, and why you wanted to write it?
I just felt it was time to be real. I felt like it was time to push off the image of like this glamorous, polished, put together sort of persona that maybe I'd inherited from social media, which I'm guilty of, and like I say, to an extent, is a lie, and show people the real, the gritty, the shame, the fear, all the stuff I've been through in my life, because I've always made people look in the mirror and try and see themselves and get to a better version of themselves and get aligned, like, yes, visually, which is what people see on the outside, but internally, when you have that, it's really powerful. And I really wanted other people to have a piece of that. I wanted them to feel like reading this book would be like sitting in my chair. So for anyone that's ever like asked, is this it? Is this kind of where I'm at in my life? Am I happy? Am I in the right relationship? Am I in the right friendship? The right money situation? For anyone that's ever felt like defined by their past, to give them the power to reinvent themselves at any age without any limitations. Because I feel like everyone I've ever worked on, I've seen like a transformation, and I've seen people reinvent themselves at any age. And I just think there needs to be more conversation around it. So I felt like, how could I bring out a book if people just go, well, he looks like he's got it all together. I works with these people. Like, I've spent so much more of my life in shame and feeling crap about myself than I have, you know, being successful. And I wanted to share some of that. I felt like it was time for people to be able to relate to that, maybe see it, and maybe give other people the inspiration or the compassion to feel like they could do it too. And just to sort of, it was like the next chapter, you know, it was like the next thing, which I'm really excited to share. But like I said to you when I sat down, it was quite brutal doing the work. Change isn't easy. It's so much easier to stay comfortable, but I don't think I've ever took comfortable as a place in my life. I've always liked to push myself and go to the next thing. And this is just the next chapter, to see more behind the scenes, and hopefully people will relate to that. And, you know, if it helps one person, then it's worth it.
I think it's already helping. I mean, that conversation alone in itself is so important, with people being or feeling stuck in the comfort blanket and not knowing if they're able to take the next step. You started from something, you know, humble beginnings, I would say. You didn't have the easiest life, and now look at where you're at. Were you ever sitting there thinking, my dreams feel so irrational, this is never going to happen? How did you go from being in a salon in London to kind of shooting yourself into where you are right now?
I mean, it definitely wasn't an overnight success. I think a lot of it was actually motivation just to get out of the town that I was brought up in. I was brought up in a small town in the middle of England, and I think I just never kind of felt accepted. I never felt understood. I had a job at 13 in hair. No one did that.
13?
I was really young. And I think people perceived that as like weird or odd. And I was kind of really bullied at school because of that. And then everyone was like, oh, you're gay. Because there was no male people that were doing hair that weren't really. There wasn't much else for people to, I guess, assume. And so very quickly I got this kind of title that I was gay, and also that I was stupid because I was dyslexic at school. So I think a lot of my motivation was to be better. Like, I'll prove everyone. But by taking that on and kind of wanting to prove everyone wrong, I think I kind of abandoned myself. Because very young, before I even thought about sexuality or even knew what dyslexia was, I was told I was these things that seemed bad. Like, if someone says to you as a kid, don't put your hand in a fire, you kind of think, oh, I better stay away from fire. I don't want to put my hand in it. So I think I just left myself at that age. And I got so focused on trying to be the best at what I did. It wasn't until later on in life that I kind of came back to myself at like the age of 26 and when I came out. And that was a whole nother process. But I think what I realized is I've made a whole life out of making people look in the mirror and see themselves. And that was really powerful for me. What I'd never done is like stopped and looked at myself. I never allowed myself to see myself because of the shame and the fear and being told that I should be a certain way, but never quite feeling that. And when I actually stopped and looked, it's like, you can't not see yourself. And I think that's what I hope I know people will find in the book, is the opportunity to actually just stop the noise and just like really see themselves for what they are. And it's not about being ashamed or trying to hide or delete your past. It's about embracing it and using that to take you to the next step in life. Because until you're, dead and you take your last breath, that's when it's over. And until that point, there is always time for reinvention to transform your life. And it is at any age. And there's so many fun stories in the book, which it feels like it can be heavy. I think a lot of the subjects I've spoken about are heavy. Maybe that's refreshing to see that my life isn't perfect and I don't have it all together. And that's kind of why I wanted to be very honest about it. Because like I say, if it just helps one person feel seen and less lost, then then to me, that's
it's
great.
doing its job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of going back to what you were saying where you never looked at the mirror and saw yourself. Do you think you used, because you started when you were 13, hair as a distraction for yourself to kind of be your outlet in this kind of feminine world, or where you were gay and you didn't want to say, hey, I'm gay, but this is hair and I love to do it and I'm passionate about it? Was it kind of like a mask for you, or were you always passionate about hair?
I just was always passionate. I mean, I did my mum's hair. A lot of people have heard this story, so for anyone listening, I'm sorry. But like when I was 9 years old, my mum was the first person's hair I'd do.
Okay.
And we were so poor as kids. My mum had like a really traumatic childhood. Her mum and dad got murdered when she was 10. Like my dad got put in a home. They both came from trauma. And life just wasn't glamorous. It was nothing like this stuff you see, or the stuff we see on TV screens, or the glamour. It was just really real and really raw. I mean, we had no money. There was no food in the cupboards. There was no sort of luxuriousness to life. So I used to see these people on TV and I'd be like, wow, like Hollywood looks glamorous. So I would try and make my mum look like one of the movie stars on the red carpet or something, and I'd do her hair and I'd be like, Mum, look in the mirror. And I saw her change when she looked in the mirror. She didn't notice herself. She didn't recognize herself. She didn't recognize the version of herself she was seeing, because her roots did define her. She was defined by what she saw and the things people told her that she was when she was younger. So then when she saw this kind of like more glamorous version of herself, I saw her like change, like her shoulders would go back and she stood differently. And I was like, wow, this is like a superpower. I love this. You get to meet people.
It is a superpower. You walk into a salon and you leave a different person.
Yeah.
It's a therapy in a way that you give people confidence
Totally.
that we don't have before.
Totally. And I felt that at such a young age. And so I didn't think like, oh, I'm gay, I'm going to try and hide it. I just was, before I even like had sex or thought about sex, I was told I was something that seemed bad.
Yes.
And so I was just like, oh, I'm not that then. I'm not going to be that. And also I'm not stupid. I just got so headstrong on getting myself out of it and being the best version of myself I could be. I didn't really allow myself to see myself in the mirror. I just kind of didn't ever go there until I did, like I said, later on in life, which is like you can run away for so long, but that's what the book is about. It's about, most people stay comfortable because it's easier. But when you truly see yourself and when you can make those changes is when your whole life will change. Because alignment, like I've been aligned so many times in my life on the outside, so I looked like I had it all together. But on the inside, I was falling apart.
I think a lot of people can relate.
Nothing works. Nothing. You get into the wrong relationships, you get into the wrong friendships, you choose the wrong jobs, wrong financial decisions. You know, it makes a big difference in every part of your life.
Yeah, absolutely. When do you think you finally looked in the mirror and said, I have to face this person?
At 26, because once I looked, when I came out, like I couldn't look back. And then that's not an easy process, because a lot of people as well with change, like change isn't, it's like going to the gym. It's not one and done. You keep going over a period of time, you start to notice results. That's the thing with like getting to a better place in your life. You recognize patterns that you don't like, or recognize patterns that you're like, I've been here before. I keep getting to the same situation, or I'm attracted to the same thing. And it's like, you got to break the pattern. And to do that, you just got to stop and be like, I want to stop doing this. I want this to stop happening, you know, and so much of it is defined by your past. Like so many of the lessons that we, you know, learn they're just things that we've been told from a young age. I first recognized it in the salon. So people would sit in my chair and I'd talk about doing something different. I was never the hairstylist that's like, what are we doing? Same as usual. I was always like, all right, well, tell me about you. And like, oh, okay, okay, what do you want to know? You know, and it was kind of like a bit of an open up, because there's something about sitting in the stylist chair that it's like, it's the time you stop and you actually look. So I encourage people to look at themselves. I kind of got the advantage of getting that done when they sat in my chair, because first of all, they'd look in the mirror and usually they get that voice going in the head, the hater. So I don't know if anyone can relate to this, but it's like, one eye is smaller than the other. Like, these wrinkles, damn.
Why do you look worse in the salon chair, though?
What is it? You know, like, these grays. Oh my God, my forehead is huge. Like, you start, the voice inside your head starts. There's a vulnerability to that, because you're just stopping and looking. Although that hater voice, and there's ways in the book I tell you to silence it, the book helps sort of silence that hater, or just at least turn down the volume. But what I realized is, like, when you sit into that stylist chair, there's a vulnerability to it. And I was always encouraging people to sort of tell me like their alter ego, or, you know, who they're inspired by. And I'd have people say, oh, you know, I've always loved this, but I know I can't do that. And I'd be like, cool, why? And they're like, well, I don't know, I was just told once, and I was like, who told you? And it'd probably be a childhood memory where their mum once told them that they suit bangs because they have a huge forehead, and they just carry, oh, I have a huge forehead, and they probably didn't even have a huge forehead. Or they'd always wanted to go blonde, but told they could never go blonde because they were brunette. And we're told that in our personalities as well. Like, you're the shy one, or you're the confident. Your sister's the confident one. You're the quiet one. And we carry that throughout our whole lives, and we don't even realize we inherited it. So when I noticed I did this with their kind of image, I changed, like, well, why can't you be blonde? When it was like, well, let's find a version of that works for you. And it was like, so, and once you did it and you did these little transformations, people were like, wow, I saw it again. Like I used to see my mom, they were like, they saw themselves differently. And when they walked out that salon, I'm telling you now, they thought everyone was looking at them. And they might not have been, but it doesn't matter because they felt it.
Exactly.
But I realized there's an internal power to that too, because like, if you're not internally and externally aligned, like it doesn't work. The magic doesn't happen. So that's why I chose to go further with it, because I realized initially it was like a visual thing, but I felt like the real magic and what I see now is like the internal like healing is really what kind of gives you that superpower. And I just want everyone to feel like they can sit in my chair by reading this book or be a part of the conversation and realize some of that.
Yeah. I mean, the power in hair, I talk about it on my podcast a lot.
Yeah.
This is my final color, I think. But I
never say never.
I know. I don't go back in time like by years. I go by hair color. So I was white. I had bright purple. I had bright pink. I had green, like every color under the sun. And I could tell by looking back at those pictures, like I know what version.
Oh my God, isn't it funny?
Yes.
You were like, I was in this relationship.
Yes.
I was going through this at work. I was doing this in my life there. And do you know what makes me, I'm always kind of interested in this. Some people will say, I don't care about my hair. I just do what I do with it. It is what it is. And I'm like, you're already making a statement by saying that though, because hair is such a huge part of your identity. I always knew it, but I think the first time I really realized it was when I had some clients that I knew they'd come into the salon for a long time. They knew what they wanted. They were like strong, confident women, and they lost their hair to cancer. And they were like rabbits in headlights. They were just lost. And they were just like, I'd rather lose my breasts than my hair because A, everyone knows I'm sick. B, I don't recognize myself. Like I don't know who I am without my hair. Hair is such an important part of your identity. Think of Anna Wintour, you think of the bob.
Exactly.
If I say Lady Gaga, platinum blonde, wacky. If you think of J-Lo, the golden honey pops of, J-Lo color,
Yeah,
it's
J-Lo
so
color.
significant to your brand. Kim K, like dark, rich, glossy hair. Chapel Roan, how do you say it? Chapel?
You said it right.
Chapel Roan. Redhead. You know what I mean? Like it's so powerful. Marilyn Monroe, like blonde.
It's your identity.
It's your identity. And so even people that are like make out that they're not sort of so interested, which is fine. It's not as though everyone has to be really interested in their outer appearance. But what I'm saying is it is still saying something about you because hair is a huge part of your identity. So at least know that it says the right thing about you. Like, and that's what I mean about getting aligned, like being able to look in the mirror and say, is this really reflecting how I look, how I feel, where I want to go in my life? And if not, if you ever think, well, is this it? Or this maybe isn't right, or something feels off, well, that's like it's time to start and make a change. Yeah.
All right, guys, quick commercial break. So I know a lot of you guys, including myself, are getting back out there right now trying to meet people that actually get you, understand you, and it's not going to be a bad pairing. Bumble is really all about that. It's showing up as your real, unfiltered self. Profiles on Bumble are designed to show your personality, interests, and lifestyle in a rich, visual way. You can quickly post a genuine sense of someone's vibe. So on Bumble, unlike a lot of other dating apps, you can immediately just like get a sense of someone's vibe, see what they're really into, their interests, and you can immediately see if you want to get to know this person or if you want to move on to the next person. So it's easier to find your match, which I think is really cool. So you can show up as your best self with Bumble and download the app now. Let's do it. This year, 2026, we're getting cracked in a beautiful, healthy way. We're going to do it with Bumble and we're going to meet people that we actually want to crack. So download Bumble now. I want to backtrack a little bit because I think it's an important conversation. And I come from a very conservative town. A lot of my best friends are gay, but they're starting to come out now, which is crazy. I mean, we're 26 and we live in a time where I feel like,
You're 26?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, me too.
I mean, you look at, they're so, I just remember growing up and they would always confide in me. They're gay, they want to come out, but they're so terrified to do it. They would do the same things. They would have girlfriends. I would be, kind of their beards for them. I would let them like kiss me at the dances and stuff, whatever they needed to make them feel comfortable. But I always wanted them to go out and just do it. And I know that it's on your own timeline and it's probably a very scary thing to do. What got you to the point where you were 26 and you said, I can't hide this anymore. I need to be who I am?
Well, when I met Kate, the mother of my kids at 19,
Yes.
we were together till I was like 26 and we had such a great relationship. And I just felt like I had it all going right. I was like, we have the kids, like I love her. And it wasn't as though I was like meeting up with guys on the side or thinking about guys or watching gay porn or anything like that. I didn't let it go. I didn't entertain it. I don't know. It just wasn't part of like my pattern. I don't know. I thought I was good. And it wasn't until I was like 26 and our relationship kind of broke down. And as it broke down, I sort of started going out and having different experiences. And I was always around gay people because I did hair. There was, a lot of, gay people. I didn't have much of an idea about it until I kind of did, and I had an experience, and it was initially just a kiss, and I remember feeling like, oh, that was weird, but I was drunk and I'm good. Like I think that's just like I was just drunk, whatever. And then we got like a friendship, and we started talking, and it just started off as a friendship. So I think for me, it was just really slow, and I didn't even realize, by even just becoming friends and talking every day, growing, and I started to recognize like, oh, I like this person, like I feel a lot for them, like it wasn't sexual at the time, it was friendship, but it was the first time in me thinking like, oh, maybe this, and I was like, no, I'm not that. I know I'm not gay. I'm good. I've got it. I know what I'm doing. I've got kids. I've got
family,
yeah, like I'm good. And then like I was fine for a while until I wasn't again, because again, like I think it was the first time, when you go through a breakup and stuff, it's probably the time where you stop and you look at yourself and you're like, what am I doing? We talk about the breakup haircut and you want to change the way you look or change the way you feel. I think it's the real time, one of those times in your life that you stop and you kind of look and you feel a lot of pain and you feel a lot of different emotions. And I think it was probably that allowed me to sort of be like, what's next? But like I say, once I kind of opened that door, there was no going back, but it felt so much harder because I had then had this huge unbearable pain of guilt. Like I couldn't bear bringing my kids the shame and pain and feeling different that I had as a kid onto them, and I felt like I was just bringing that shame onto them. It felt like a cancer. I felt like I had this cancer and I couldn't get rid of it. If I could have cut it out of me, I would have. I mean, I spoke about it in my book. It's still hard to talk about. It's not necessarily something that I'm not proud of, and I don't know if it'll ever be easy to say, but the night I tried to take my life was the night I told my kids, because I just couldn't ever handle hurting them and bringing any of the shame that I felt or any of the suffering I felt, or like I used to get spat on, I was punched, I was jumped after school, like it was relentless, it never ended. And I just wanted them to be safe, and I felt like I was the cancer. That's how it felt. It didn't feel okay. Society didn't tell me it was okay. My past experiences didn't tell me it was okay. And so I felt like for me to not be there would be better than them to have a dad that was gay. That's how bad it felt. After I didn't, die, I was still there. There was a real defining moment where I remember I was laying in the hospital bed and I couldn't have hated myself anymore. I couldn't have felt any more shame or any more confusion or any more loss. And I realized my whole life I'd been fighting it and just like, I'd abandoned myself. At that young age, I mentally switched off from anything that I never even allowed myself to discover any of it because I was told it was bad at such a young age. And I kind of thought, well, I couldn't hate myself anymore right now. Like I couldn't try and run away from it. Well, how about I just surrender? And it wasn't loud. It wasn't like a huge moment. It was just this moment where I felt myself let go. And I was like, maybe I just start here, because I couldn't go any further than trying to kill myself to end it. So if I'm going to be here, how about I just accept it? And that was just day one. And I didn't know what was going to be next, but I knew I had to start somewhere. And the first thing was just accepting it. And I think that's when I stopped and looked in the mirror. It was that day. It was like, okay, I'm here. tried to hide, you know, I've tried to run away from this mirror. I tried to not look, and I just had to look, and I just had to keep looking. And that was day one. And that was the beginning. Everything changed, really. It wasn't easy at the time.
No.
And it went on for a long time. But I know if I had not done that, I wouldn't be here now. I wouldn't be living the life I live. I wouldn't have the relationship I have with my kids. They wouldn't be as strong as they are. And I'm, you know, finally in a place in my life now where I'm proud. And I wasn't for such a long time, but I finally feel like I came home to myself. And now someone asked me earlier, like, you know, when do you feel lonely? And I was like, you know, I felt lonely so much of my life, and that's not a feeling I have anymore, because I feel comfortable with myself for the first time.
You have yourself at the end of the day.
But for such a long time, I didn't want to be around I couldn't stand. I'd rather be in a relationship than be on my own, because being on my own, I felt like the loser. I felt like stupid. I felt all the things. And I was like, I'd rather just, even if it was the wrong relationship, I'd be in it, just because it was better to be with someone than to be on my own.
Of yourself.
Now I value my peace, and I had I didn't respect myself. I let so many people into my life. I let down all of my boundaries, and I let things happen that should never have happened, because I didn't have enough self-love and a self-awareness to protect that. Now it's such a different story. Like, I'm so protective of my life and me. Whereas before it was just always about other people. It was always about other people. I made a job and a career out of making people look and see themselves, and that was great. So it doesn't work in relationships.
You wanted to see yourself, and it was like, let me help everyone else but myself.
Totally. And I guess to an extent, you know, you hope your partner will see you and help, but that's not their job, and it's not your job to fix people. And like, one of my toxic traits probably was thinking I could fix people. Like, oh, I can help fix them. Like, you know, love is enough. And I just realized that that's not love, and love isn't enough, unfortunately.
Yeah. What do you think were some things that you did internally for yourself that helped you move past the darkest days of your life and be where you are right now? Like, things that you worked on that could help others?
I think the first step is like acceptance, and just not having to have it all figured out, not having to have an answer. I think today's day and age, like we want like instant gratification or satisfaction. And the truth is, like, healing and acceptance is like a little messy, and it can be a little confusing, and there can be good days and bad days. But you're never gonna, if you think about it as a journey, like, unless you get in the fucking car and turn it on and start driving, you're never going to get there. Stop being afraid to get in the car. Like, first thing is just to get in, turn the car on, start heading forward. You might not know the direction, but just start moving towards your goal. If your goal is to be in a better place, find out what that is. Like, what would happiness look like to you? What would peace look like to you? Or what would be aligned feel like for you, whether that's like getting out of the relationship you're in, or, you know, a better financial situation, or you know, your work, just like you hate your job. Like, life's really short, and there is a possibility of change. You don't have to just suck it up. You know, you can make a change.
That's so important for people to hear.
So many people don't realize. And also, people think over the age of 20 that you're fucked. Like, and I'm like, it's never too late
I
to
still
restart.
feel fucked sometimes, and I'm like, it's so not true.
Not
I mean,
true.
you changed your whole world, your whole entire life at your deepest, darkest point. And now look where you are. You completely shot off, which is, I think, to so many people, unrealistic in their heads.
Yeah.
But I guess just read this book and you can understand that it's possible, and it's a truth. There's no age, there's no limit to anything. But we get so stuck in this. The ageism is crazy.
Yeah, it really is. And I think, like, reading the book is not, it just might make you feel like you can relate to something and feel like you can begin somewhere. Because if more people talk about that conversation, and more people talk about like their low points and how insecure they felt, or how, you know, dark their life has been at time, then maybe they can kind of relate to it and say, oh, I felt a bit like that. I have that voice in my head. When I look in the mirror, I'm like, you know, I instantly say, oh, you're fat, or I'm old, or I'm, you know, I say those, I have that voice. And it's not, listen, reading this book is not going to just delete that voice. And it's not meant to. What it's meant to do, and what it will do, is you'll be able to recognize you've got that voice, and it's telling you those things. And you're like, oh, that's that thing I do. And you'll just be able to turn the volume down, if it's at 10, to like a 2. And you can just come back to yourself and be like, I'm just doing that thing I do. And it's not healthy, and it takes me to a bad place. So in actual fact, I'm going to come back to myself. And like, yeah, all right, I might have those lines around my mouth, but you know what? that shows I've been laughing a lot, and that's a great thing. Or, you know, there's positive spins you can put on it, but it's so easy to go to the negative. It's so easy to be like, I'm never going to get to a better place. I'm never going to get in a better relationship. I'm never going to find a partner. And like, that's just what we've been told or what we've inherited. It's like old news, and that's like, you're just letting your roots define you. You are your own savior. You know, you have the possibility to do that.
Yeah, I think that's what's so important about your voice in this book is you're not preaching at people.
No,
it doesn't
not
feel
at
like a
all.
TED Talk. It
Yeah,
feels like
no.
honesty.
Oh, and I still don't have it together. You know, I'm learning every day. But like I say, I get triggered all the time. Like I was in a situation just the other week, and like I got myself in a situation, and I was like, oh my God, I'm doing that thing again. I went back to, I'm like attracted to that thing that I like, you know, done the work on. But then I recognized I wasn't in it as long. I came back to myself, and I kind of just stopped it dead in the tracks. Whereas before I'd have been like, let's just see where it goes. I would have just kept like kind of feeding it, you know, whereas now I'm just like, no, it doesn't work for me. And I come back to myself, you know. And I hope everyone can find that, because there's a real superpower in it. Being able to come back to yourself and feeling content is really valuable. It's probably the biggest gift I was ever given.
Yeah, creating boundaries. It seems like
Totally.
you've learned how to do that.
Totally.
I need to learn how to. I need to read this book full through and through. Like, where are the boundaries? I need to do it.
Where's my boundaries
Yeah,
at? Boundaries, I think sometimes as well, like we use these words that are like, love yourself, have boundaries. And like, I used to sort of frown a little bit. I was like, I'm just being self-obsessed, and like, you know, boundaries is like, I don't want this and I don't want that. And it almost made you a little bit entitled. It's different. Like real boundaries and real self-love isn't about that. It's just about, like I say, not feeling lonely. Real self-love is being kinder to yourself. Still, like, look, I looked in the mirror, I probably thought, oh, fucking I look old today. Or like, I don't know, why is one eye smaller than the other? But I'm just like, that's all right. Come back to myself, and I'm like, you look great, mate. Come on, you're doing good.
I'm a human specimen.
I know, but it doesn't matter how
joking,
good
yeah.
you look or how good other people say you look. If you don't feel it, like,
It's
it's
not
just
through.
like never going to shine. And that's why I realized it first when I did hair. Like, I could cut someone's hair short. Everyone in the room could say they look amazing. They could go on a red carpet and they don't feel it. They held themselves differently. Their shoulders are down. They don't feel as good. It doesn't matter if everyone says they love it. If they're not feeling it and it's not aligned with who they are, then it's never going to sell. Whereas if someone feels themselves, it doesn't matter if no one likes it. They will go out there, and if they feel good about themselves, it's like your superpower. You know what I mean? And I realized I was bringing that out in people, but it wasn't just by doing the hair. It was a whole sort of, it was a whole approach. But like I say, so much of it was internal. And it's really simple. It sounds deep, but it's really not. It's first of all, you sit in the chair, get in the chair. Let's look at you. Let's see where you want to go, where you at, and where do you want to be, and then let's just fill in the steps.
Yeah. What was your first aha moment of I made it?
My first aha moment.
We were like, damn, I actually did this.
I'm actually really self-deprecating. I don't know if it's a British thing, but I don't. I never know if I've ever felt like I made
Really?
it. I'm all, oh my God. Do you know the Super Bowl was probably with J-Lo one of the biggest moments of my career. I've never had more people text me, message me, reach out for brand deals. My social media, like, you know, we see dribs and abs. It's like a huge jump in social media. It was just such a big moment that everyone watched, and everyone seemed to love J-Lo's hair, like the big bouncy curly hair. Everyone seemed to love, and I went home that night and cried. I literally was in bed, didn't go out, didn't speak to anyone. Everyone else went out and partied. It was a fucking great night to celebrate in Miami. I went back and cried. You know why?
Why?
This one piece of her hair fell and got stuck in her eyelash in the beginning, and that's all I saw the whole performance. I was like, I've ruined it. I've ruined her performance. I've ruined my career is done. I am done. Like, and because before there was all these tests, and we did all these hair tests, and there's so many funny stories that go in the book of all the behind the scenes of this thing that everyone loved and how I beat myself up so much about it. But what I learned to realize is this, like, now I look back on it and I'm like, well, you can't control every piece of hair. And when someone is spinning upside down and spinning their head around, there's an organicness to that hair bouncing and moving around, which makes it feel real. And the way the hair moves and isn't stiff actually makes it feel better. So like I changed something that I, at the time, was so upset about. Because I was trying to control every strand of hair, to now being like, I can see it for what it is. In actual fact, it's like it added to the performance, it added to the moment. But, you know, there's all moments that we're guilty of that in our lives where we have that voice inside our head, which, you know, that hater where it just puts you back into your place, and it keeps you at this place in your life which you don't want to be. I don't want to be in that place anymore. It's kind of a miserable place to be. So in those small changes, it changed a lot. Changed my career, changed my relationships, changed my friendships, and the relationship I have with my kids, and how I want to inspire them to be, the people they want to be.
How do you balance fatherhood along with you? I mean, you are a celebrity in yourself. How do you try to kind of keep your children safe in this world? Do you let them into it? How do you balance fatherhood in being Chris Appleton?
Being a dad is my greatest joy.
Mm-hmm.
I love my kids so much. They bring me so much joy. They make me laugh. They're just my whole heart. And they honestly don't give a crap about celebrity. Like, they have been to huge red carpets. They've mixed, they've been to the Kardashians' Christmas party. And, Kitty, my daughter, worked at Kim's office.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was, mixing with, Kris Jenner walks in and she's greeting her on reception. And, to see what I'm just so proud of there, Jenny, because we come from this small town. I came to the US when I was 13. It felt big and scary. Mm-hmm. She was 16. Mm-hmm. And when she came, she couldn't even look at a waiter in the eye when we went to take an order. She would struggle to make eye contact. And I noticed that. And now she has these amazing conversations, and she can mix with people at an event, but she can also have a real honest, in-depth conversation about, family, and their heart is in the right place, and they just don't really care about it. They're like, oh, well done, Dad, that's great, but they're not flustered by it. Like, I'm like, this year, what do you want to get for Christmas? And like, honestly, Dad, you've done enough for me. We don't need anything. We're good. Like, they just want to be together and have a great time. And I think that for me makes me feel like I did a good job. And Kate, the mother of my kids, like I say, we're still best friends. I think we did a good job. Like, we didn't have the best circumstances, and we've definitely had bumps along the road, but like, I think our greatest joy and proudest achievement is them.
Yeah.
And balancing it's not really a job. It's kind of easy because I just love them, and
they seem like your best friends.
Yeah, I just FaceTime all the time. I'm like, look at this, I'm doing this, or what? And they're just like, oh, that's nice, or, But then they're like, we're talking about Dash, the dog, and like, my Dash is like the heart of the family, and I don't know who's looking after him, or I don't know. It's just really real, I don't know. It's just never been a thing where and I'm so glad they don't care, because I don't think, but I don't really, like, I love what I do, and I've done it with so many different people. I guess the world sees like Kim as Kim Kardashian, whereas I guess I just see her as like my client and friend, and I feel so lucky to have been able to work with someone and be a small part of, what they do, and I've just always treated it that way. And when I go to work, I'm very just focused. I'm there to provide a service, make them look and feel their best, and, I guess people use the word celebrity, but you forget that it's real. Like, you forget social media is like real numbers. People follow you and invest in you, and it's lovely. It's really flattering, but I don't know. I think the real stuff is when you come home and you're with your kids and your family, and they're the moments that
matters
remember.
the most.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I want to end on a little light-hearted fun game for you.
Oh, I love fun games.
Yeah, it's fun. It's kind of silly, but I'm really curious. I feel like people are going to freak out when you give your answers. Okay.
Oh,
top 3 looks.
I just threw water all
everywhere.
over myself.
Now everyone's going to start spraying water. It's your new thing. Top 3 looks you've ever done.
My top 3 looks. Mm-hmm. Oh.
It can be on yourself if you want to, if you don't want to.
On myself?
Or anything that you've ever done.
My top 3 looks. I've only had about 3. I think my top 3 most people associate with is like J-Lo's Super Bowl, Kim's Met Ball, one of her, like, probably the wet Mugler look, and the third would be maybe Ariana Grande's ponytail. When we did the hoops in it back in the day.
Oh, perfect! That's so iconic.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was a really fun time. Yeah.
Okay, 2 of your least favorite looks you've ever done.
2 of my least favorite. Oh God. Oh, once I did a waist length pony like wig on J-Lo. Like, it was long, like really long. It was like a piece on the back that made it really long, and the only reason I don't love it is because she sat on it in the car and it pulled it, and then when we got out to the red carpet it pulled it back, and I was trying to like pull it forward because I was like, oh my God, those HD cameras, you can see everything. You don't want to see any extensions, so I was like panicking just before she went on. And I mean, I actually loved the pictures and she looked great. She can't ever look bad. Jennifer's just, she's beautiful. Like, I sometimes think before even glam, I'm like, you should just go as you are. You're stunning. Like, I don't even, just have your hair in a bun. Wet hair, bun, no makeup. You just look great, But it was just stressful because it's a red carpet. Red carpets are always like very stress inducing because, most people take a selfie and you're like, this lighting's crap. Let's go somewhere else.
Yeah.
When you do a red carpet, you have no control of the lighting.
It's there.
And also, You have 360 pictures, like every, like this, they take a picture. You like that, they just take pictures of everything,
and you
have no
track
control.
If there's anything showing.
So it's just always terrifying because also there's an expectation when you do a red carpet to do a look and do something different. But if you're on a photo shoot, you'll test that. Oh, the lighting's a bit off, or we'll change the position of that because it looks better here. So there's always a lot of pressure for red carpet, particularly at the Met Ball, because
I can only imagine.
Everyone always imagines so much, and social media now has such an opinion on it. But it's all fun of it. Yeah. It's all fun. I don't know. I enjoy the whole thing, and I like the debate. It's good that some people love it, some people don't.
It's fun. I like to see people.
There's so much stuff being said about me online. Like I think it's fun to be able to I don't know, just. It's fine for people to have an opinion and a conversation. I think it's good.
And then
I don't know. Do people say bad stuff about you online?
All the
time. Good stuff?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Do they?
Yeah, they do. But it's fun. It's just like.
How do you handle the pressures of social media? Because it is a real conversation and it's a real thing, I think, these days where people, as soon as one thing is said on the social media, everyone jumps on that. I met this person. Everyone has an opinion.
Of course. All right, guys, quick commercial break. Whether you're here for the big plays, the tailgate energy, or the chance to hype up your crew, DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, turns game day into an absolute vibe. If you're new to betting, it's a simple. You can pick your team or a player you love watching. Zero stress, all fun, just more energy from your game day. Come on, guys. Have you seen my DraftKings commercial? Also, Drake May, King of the North. All my bets will be going on Drake May, the Patriots, because we are so back, baby. If you want to make some bets, make sure you do it with DraftKings. You can download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code PLANBRIE. New customers can turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins with code PLANBRIE. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Let's get back to the episode. I've been doing it for 6 years, and in the beginning, I started when I was 20. So I was every bad thing someone says about you, especially when you're that young and impressionable, and you want to defend it because you know who you are.
Yeah.
I've learned there's no defending unless this person has been in a room with you.
Totally.
They have your phone number. It's not worth your time because they don't know you. And everyone is allowed to have a perception of you, but let them be wrong.
Totally. So I think that's really good words of advice.
It took me a long time.
Because I think a lot of people get terrified of even, I know people that don't even want to do a post because they're so anxious about it. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, look, first of all, if that person that you're worried about when you're posting, not liking it or thinking you're too much or thinking you're, showing off, they probably already have you on mute if they don't like, or they're probably not looking at, I just encourage people to just live more authentically and do it, because you know what, the haters are going to hate anyway.
Of course,
and the people that support you, you'll see. So just at least try and live authentically and do it anyway.
I think so. Don't be scared of being cringe. Just be cringe, do whatever you want, and the people that love you will flock to you. Those are the people you want around you anyways.
Totally. And I was so afraid to live more authentically and show more of my personal life. So the book was a big thing for me to be able to show more of that. But I just was like, I think this is me showing who I truly am. And there's been so many conversations said about me or my relationships or my friendships or the people I work with, and I was like, I think it's really good to just say it from my perspective.
I agree.
I don't feel like I need to defend anything. I know who I am, but for what it's worth, here's a part of me.
Yeah, I went through a very public relationship breakup as well, and I know how hard it is for one person to say one thing. The internet loves to pick a side, and there always has to be a villain, or there has to be someone that's an angel, when in reality it's people, and there's two
relationships
sides.
Are messy, people are complicated, and everyone brings something to a relationship. And in my experience of any friendships or relationships I've been in, when something is just not healthy anymore, I'll remove. I think as long as you've tried everything you can try, then
agree,
it's good to get out.
I think you doing all of these podcasts or just the press for your book, I've gotten such an insight on your personality, and I think people are loving it. They love to see more of you, so you should do more of that. It's great. Okay, we have 3 more silly questions.
Done your hair.
I know. You need to do my hair.
Yeah, you need to do my hair.
Please help me. God help me.
You look great.
Thank you. 3 hair products you can't live without.
Colorado Dream Coat. I don't know. I'm talking.
I think I have some over there. I literally use it every
Dream Coat
day.
because it's like a game changer for the hair texture, and that is. I guess a lot of people know my work from having like a polish finish, whether it's like messier or done whatever, but it has kind of like a finish to it. And the Dream Coat was my game changer for that. I love some Swatchcraft Blonde Me bleach level 9+, because it's just like the best lightener. And if I'm doing a good old platinum blonde, you know, I love a platinum blonde and a dark root,
Yeah.
then it helps me get that great lift, but also not compromise the hair. And then my last favorite product, possibly, I love my Shark Flex Styler hairdryer because it's just like multi-purpose.
Me too.
Hair styler. You can do so many different things to it.
I use it more than my Dyson, to be honest. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Worst hair trend.
I don't love mullets.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because I just feel like they're like two different people combined into one. I feel like it's like a 2-in-1 conditioner. It just confuses me. It's like, who is that? It's like, I don't know. It's like business in the front, party in the back. I just get confused by it.
You have to be a really certain type of person to pull it off.
It can look really cool, but the real like permed mullety thing, like I struggle a little bit with that.
That's fair.
Yeah, I kind of just want to just go, where are we?
Where are we going with this?
Go one plane or just
Imagine Kim with a mullet.
No.
A girly mullet.
Oh, she'd pull it off. I don't know.
She
Kim's
could pull
amazing.
anything off.
She's so good at like. I kind of love being challenged as well though. Like I remember we were doing a shoot with Kim once, and the photographer wanted this like it was like you know the short layers on top and like long and
Yes.
I remember being like, this is already, it's like an ugly kind of hair. It's not like a pretty hairstyle, you know, it's like kind of ugly. But we did it in this shoot and it just like, when everything combines, and it looks so great. Nadia Lee like did the pictures and she's obviously amazing. And like, that's like a whole world that just comes together and I love being challenged like that because it does look great and you have to trust the process.
It's like an art project.
Yeah. I like being challenged for sure. It's healthy to be challenged.
For sure.
I never... Even to this day, I never go to work and I'm like, I know what I'm doing. I'm always like a little apprehensive, like very prepared. Like I think I should always be like that. I don't ever want to be any other way.
Complacent, no.
No,
At your level, are you still out there learning new things? Like
all the
doing
time.
classes?
You're kidding me? TikTok and Instagram, I'm always learning new techniques.
Yeah.
Like when I was in London, when I used to live there, I used to just like watch the girls on like the tube and how they braided the hair or what hairstyles they did and what it said about them. I'm always like just like a sponge taking it in and absorbing it. Yeah,
always learning.
Yeah, I love it. I love learning. And I'm never like, I think that's maybe why there's comfort for when I do people's hair because I'm never like, you know what I really don't like?
What?
I don't like it when people gaslight you and say like, oh, you know, like you're like, oh, my hair, like we did a color and like it's a bit darker than I said. No, wait, it's a bit darker than something. No, it's not darker. It's just this lighting. Or no, you're thinking it's dark. Or if someone cuts your hair too short, you're like, it's a bit too short. No, it's not too short. It's just that we needed to take. You know when someone tries to tell you something that it's not, and you're like, no, I know it. You've done.
And then
that.
You're like, wait, is it?
You're like questioning yourself, and you're like, oh, I've been in plenty of situations like that in my life.
What do you think your superpower in hair is? Your number one specialty that you're like, okay, I have this mastered. You have to. I know that you're always wanting to be better. You have to have something.
It's different. It's not really. It's more of a. I think my superpower is making people feel seen.
Yeah. Your aura.
No, just really like connecting with the person to try and bring out the best of them, even if they're a little nervous to do it or a little bit apprehensive, and doing it in a way that they feel comfortable and they feel like, even if it's a small change, that they feel really good about it and empowered by. That was something that always felt really good to me, like to be able to bring out from where and it's probably from when my mum was, when I was younger with my mum, because my mum was in a position where she was at, and I realized I could make her feel better, and a little bit more glamorous and a little bit more like a person, not just a mum of 5 that was an orphan, you know, like feel something. Like I like to bring that out in people.
That is a superpower.
Yeah.
It is, truly. To be comfortable when you sit down and someone's doing your hair and you're like, oh, this is a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
You can feel your like energy when you walk into a room, truly.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
It's important for any hairstylist to make you feel comfortable. Makeup artists too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so. Okay. We'll do one last question.
All right then.
Favorite Kardashian?
Oh my God. Are you trying to get me fired?
Do you do everyone's hair, right?
Kim mainly, Chris. I think I've done everyone. Chloe, I've done Kylie, done Courtney. So yeah, who else?
Kendall? Well, I guess.
Have I done Kendall? I don't know if I've done Kendall. I don't have a favorite. I genuinely love all my clients because I think they're all. There's so much to learn from these women that are powerhouses in their own right. There's so much to learn. I'm always just like a sponge. You know, like Kim has always been such a big inspiration because she was, what she did was a reality star, and then she became a lawyer, and then, she did Skims, which is this insane business. But she's also a mom, which I see the behind the scenes of how embedded and invested she is as a mom, and how that's like her main priority. And like, I don't know, I was always so inspired by these people and how they do it. And I don't know, I just generally am grateful
for all of them,
just to be in anyone's aura of that stature. Like, I'm always so grateful just to work with these amazing people.
Of course.
I'm thankful, really.
What are something, I mean, you work so closely with Kim, and like you just said, she built an empire, and she's insane and incredible, and I respect her so much. What is like one piece of advice you think you've kind of gained from just watching her and being around her?
From Kim?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I just think how she's so strong. I've seen her through many different situations, and she's always not only strong, but she's kind. Like, one of the biggest things that always stood out to me is no matter who it was or whatever was going on in her own life, she would always speak to everyone, introduce herself, whether it was a lighting assistant, I don't know, or a director. It doesn't matter who it was. She was genuinely nice, kind, and professional to everyone, like introduce herself. And she didn't have to, and especially in circumstances which like she didn't need to. She's always very respectful to people. And I think that's really powerful and very, it's very authentic and says a lot about a person. And it's so easy to get like carried, when you've got your own things going on and you're stressed and whatever. And, but she's never shown that, and always been so good with people. It's always been a big inspiration to me. And she's been incredibly kind. Like, she's been so giving of my career and my craft and loyal, and I'm forever grateful to that. For that, I mean, she's truly an incredible person, and I don't know how she does it all, but still, to this day inspires me, and how she juggles it all. And I guess, like I say, people see one side of her, but I see a very different side, and she's a great person.
Yeah. I mean, you do it all too. You're doing kind of all the same things, but
I don't know.
Your book, Your Roots Don't Define You. I'm very grateful that you came on here and you let a lot of things out, and you were very vulnerable and open. I think this book is really important, not only for you in a therapeutic way, but for everyone that's going to read it. So.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna spin it onto you now.
Okay, spin it onto me. Knock everything over.
So, what's your toxic trait? I always ask this question on a date.
Oh, okay.
I think it's really good to know.
Oh, it's our first date.
What's your toxic trait? It's our first date.
My toxic trait probably would be that I am very, I guess I'll do it in the sense of dating, self-destructive. So when I see that I really start to have feelings with someone, or I see a future with them or potential, even if it's a first date, I'm like, oh, I could like them. I won't answer them. I'll stop talking to them.
Really?
I put up these walls.
Are you avoidant?
Yes. Yes.
You're not anxious?
I think I'm an anxious
avoidant attachment. Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I don't know how to.
But do you recognize yourself now? Do you know you're doing it?
Very self-aware. And I'm trying to get to, I was in a very, very abusive relationship in my last one. So I've taken a year and a half off from dating.
Okay.
And it's funny that
I've been single for 2 years.
Yeah. It's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's awesome in the sense of you really get to know who you are.
You learn to protect your life.
You do. And I think I'm getting to a point where I'm so aware of what I'm doing that I think I can stop it. So I'm working on it. I'm trying.
Well, that's the first point, just being able to recognize you do that and be like, how can we get to a different place? If you don't like the same ending.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah. What's your
Thanks
toxic
for sharing
trait?
That. My toxic, I think part of doing the book and where I'm at in my life now, I think kind of healed my old one. My biggest toxic trait was thinking I could help fix people. And like, it works in a job sense in my career. It doesn't work in relationships, and I shouldn't need to. I think people are who they are, and I don't think people change that much unless they're really working on themselves. Like, there's a lot of people like to stay comfortable, and if someone's actively trying to be better and get to a better place, then that's one thing. But I think trying to fix people is like not my place to have to,
Yeah.
And like, again, like putting my own self-love into that equation is like, I don't need to do that. I can be a great partner and not have to help fix someone else. And because you just let so many other things happen into your life.
You can't fix everyone. I struggle with that too.
And it's not your place to.
Okay, then last question. What's your favorite quality about yourself?
I love this. This is definitely our first date. My favorite quality is, I think, I can create like memorable experiences for people, not in like a financial sense, but just like I'll really get in tune with someone where I'll just want to give them or do something that was like unforgettable, that made them really feel like, oh my God, you knew that about me.
Yeah.
You know, something really, it might be something really small.
They feel special.
But they feel special.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
What's yours?
I think mine would be, I feel like all of my friends, everyone in my life's therapist, but I'm a really good listener. So even if, like you just said, you tell me something 4 years ago, I'll bring it back up. So people feel like, oh, you really do listen to me, you love me.
You know me.
But I do listen. I like to listen. So that's why I do this. So I can listen to you.
I love it. Well, you do a great job of it. Thank you for having me on. I really like talking to you.
Thank you so much. Everyone go frickin' buy his book right now.
Support the book.
Support the book and support
Chris and his book, Roots Time to Find You.
Yes, right now I'm watching.
I've been on, everyone's like, is it not out yet? I'm like, the pre-sale's been a long time.
Books take forever.
I did not know how much work books are.
A lot. Like I'm working on writing one right now, and they were like maybe 2 years until it will get into someone's hands.
But I'm like, let's go. I'm like, let's get this written. But then like just I guess it's like so much information that you have to kind of just put out to people bit by bit by bit. And then, you know, I mean, my most exciting part was honestly the audio. I think like reading.
Are you doing your own audio?
I did it the other day. It's hard, like, because I mean, my voice would be cracking and I was really emotional because there's some parts of the book that are really like, and then the other parts that are really happy and fun and like great memories and great lessons that, you know, just rereading myself reminds me. And it was a really fun process. So anyone that doesn't want to read, you can listen to my voice. It's
a good voice to listen to, though. The accent. Oh my gosh, it's awesome. I love it.
I don't know. My dyslexic ass, I'm like, we need you to come back in it. We've got to go over a few words. I don't say half of them right.
To read it. I do that too. It's so
I love
bad.
It's got a lot of personality in it.
I'm so excited for you, and I can't wait to actually read it. Can I keep this one?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
All yours, babe.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much.
Start the process.
Bye, guys.